Now, having looked at the tissues, let us now turn our attention to organs. The word organ, biologically, is a group of tissues that perform a specific major function. An organ, therefore, consists of several tissues that are grouped together, and they're found in one particular location in the body that performs a specific major function. For example, in animals, the organs include 1. The heart. The heart consists of the following tissues. There is the epithelial tissue, connective tissues. Epithelial tissue covers the surface of the organ. Connective tissue is found both on the surface and within the organ, within the heart, connecting the various tissues. Muscle tissue, and in particular for the heart, the type of muscle there is known as the cardiac muscle. There are nerve tissues, and then of course the blood tissues contained within the blood vessels. Now each of these tissues carries out a particular function which in totality enable the heart to pump blood throughout the body. For instance, the epithelium covers the heart, thereby providing protection for the rest of the tissues. Connective tissues support the tissues. Muscles are the ones that contract to facilitate the pumping of the blood. And then the nerve tissues carry nerve impulse. And it is these nerve impulses that control the rate of contraction of the muscles and determine how much or to what extent the pumping will take place. That is depending on the impulses that are carried by the nerve tissue. Then of course the blood tissue is a circulating fluid that is pumped out of the heart to the rest of the body. So all these work together to enable the heart to function as a unit, making it the organ. Then another example of an animal organ is the kidney. Kidney also consists of the epithelial tissue, nerve tissues, connective tissues, muscle tissue, and blood tissue. All these tissues work together to enable the kidney carry out the function of excretion. Now, other organs that are found in animals include, we have the brain, the stomach, the ear, the eye, and the tongue, just to mention a few examples of the organs that are found in an animal body. Now, all these organs consist of several tissues that work together to perform a specific function. For example, the brain. It's made up of several tissues that work together to enable all the functions of the brain, like controlling the activities of the other organs in the body, coordinating the activities and movement within the body. The stomach is also made up of several tissues that enable digestion of food. The ear has several tissues that facilitate hearing and maintenance of balance. The eye for sight, and then the tongue for tasting of molecules or food substances that are taken into the mouth. Now, when it comes to plant organs, just like animals, plant organs also are made up of several types of tissues. We look at two examples of plant organs, and these include: 1. The leaf. The leaf consists of several tissues, namely the epidermis, forming the outermost cover, palisade mesophyll, whose cells contain many chloroplasts, spongy mesophyll, whose cells have irregular shape and thereby creating air spaces within this tissue, and these air spaces facilitate free movement of gases and diffusion. And then you have the vascular tissues. All these tissues work together to enable the leaf carry out photosynthesis and also gases exchange. The photosynthetic function is mainly carried out by the palisade mesophyll and, to a smaller extent, the spongy mesophyll. Gases exchange is carried out by the various tissues. The spongy mesophyll, for example, with the large air spaces. The large air spaces that are created by the irregular shape of the cells enable free movement of gases, thereby enhancing diffusion. And then the vascular tissues contribute to photosynthesis in the sense that the xylem that make up the vascular tissues bring water and mineral from the roots to the leaves. The water is used in photosynthesis, and then the phloem in the vascular tissue carries away the products of photosynthesis to the other parts of the plant. So the leaf is an organ that carries out photosynthesis and gases exchange, and is made up of these tissues: the epidermis, the palisade mesophyll, spongy mesophyll, and the vascular tissues. The second plant organ is the root. The root consists of, again, a number of tissues, namely the epidermis, the parenchyma tissue, and the vascular tissues. These tissues work together to enable the root carry out its absorptive function. The root absorbs water and mineral salts from the soil. The root also anchors the plant firmly in the soil, and this is made possible mainly by the parenchyma cells that make up the parenchyma tissues. When these cells become turgid, they provide support to the plant and enable the anchorage to the soil. And then the third function that is found in the plant, in the roots of some plants, is storage. In a number of plants, food substances are stored in the parenchyma cells. And this therefore plays a very important role in the nutrition of the plant. Now, moving on to the organ systems. Organ systems consist of groups of organs which work together to perform a certain specific function. It's a collection of organs. Just like an organ is a collection of tissues, organ systems is a group or a collection of organs that work together to perform a specific function. An example of an organ system is the digestive system. The specific function of the digestive system is the breakdown of food and absorption into the bloodstream for distribution to the various parts of the body. So the digestive system is made up of several organs. There is the mouth. Each organ carries out a specific role and contributes to the digestion and absorption of food. So mouth, where digestion occurs. Esophagus is a passage. It facilitates the movement of food substances from the mouth to the stomach. The stomach is another region where the digestion takes place. The liver, though not part of the alimentary canal, but is part of the digestive system because it produces some substances that play an important role in digestion. So you have the liver as part of the digestive system. The pancreas is also part of the digestive system. The small intestine, large intestine organs, the appendix, and the anus. Each of these organs are in turn made up of tissues, and each organ carries out a specific function that contributes to the digestion process of the organism. Other organ systems include reproductive system, excretory system, nervous system, respiratory system, also known as gaseous exchange system, and of course you have the circulatory systems. So in fact, the major function carried out by this system can be derived from the name. So reproductive system, mainly carrying out reproduction. Excretion, that is the removal of unwanted substances from the body. Nervous system is a conduction of nerve impulse, communication in the form of nerves from one part of the body to the other. Respiratory system, or the gaseous exchange system, is the breathing system. It facilitates the intake of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide from the body. And then circulatory system. This is a system that involves the transport of substances from one part of the body to the other. For example, the transport of waste materials from the tissues to the excretory organs for removal.